Podtacular, episode 246, Community Picks for 2010, for the week of January 14th, 2011.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Podtacular. I am Duststorm.
I'm GLewis.
I'm Brent Gamer.
And we
I think I'm
have
supposed to go.
we have
Yeah, you are.
guest hosts. This is the community show for the 2010 picks of the year from the Podtacular community.
Yeah.
And they are the two overlords of the Pro Clan as well. It's Anorexic leader. You want to say hello?
Hello.
This is you were on not too long ago, correct? Not that long ago.
I think actually it was before Duststorm took over, so actually it was a while back.
Yeah,
So
he hasn't been on in a long time, actually.
So, mistake what I said. And for his first time ever, I believe, it is Old Regime.
Hello, everybody.
Is it first time?
Indeed.
Oh wow.
Hmm.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Glad to be here.
I guess
Yeah,
we'll have to do the regular interview with him then, since he's never been on the show.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah. Well, you usually do that, Duststorm. So why don't you go ahead and
Are you ready?
Do that.
Regime.
ready? Regime, are you?
I am.
You-
I have my my teleprompter with me. I should be good.
Okay. Your Obama prompter. That's looks like an iPad.
Yeah, right. So since this is your first time on the show, tell us how you found Podtacular, and I guess now since you're Overlord, what you do in the Pro Clan.
Well, I found Podtacular while searching through iTunes, like many other people. My first episode was the episode right before the show ended. So I was
Oh.
listening, and they were like, "Oh, we're sorry, guys. We can't continue, blah, blah, blah." And I was really confused. And I thought, well, that really sucks. I mean, that's ridiculous. But so I picked it up again around in the episode 180s area. And then I joined during that time period and made friends pretty quickly, joined the Rec Clan, participated with them, and then I bugged the hell out of GLewis to start up the Pro Clan again. Pretty much from there, he let me run with it, and now it's a developing area on the site that will very soon become our main clan representatives.
Very nice. And you guys have already had one clan match, right?
We did. We had it's kind of like a warm-up clan match. We're not really going to count that for the record books. It was against the Halo 3/Halo Reach junkies, led by their female, yes, that's the right word,
I forget what her tag is.
Overlord Ian Knob, or however you pronounce it. And we did pretty well. We won the first game, multi-flag on Hemorrhage. Seems like Podtacular is pretty unstoppable at that type. And we were going to win the second game. I believe it was neutral flag snipers, an odd combination, but that's what it was.
Yeah, I was looking through the results of your thing, and it looked like you were playing some odd game types.
Yeah, so I would never combine snipers with neutral flag ever. But we played that, and I believe we were going to get up.
How did
right
you guys
away.
agree on that game type?
It was a little crazy. There was some confusion in the lobby about what game types were picked. People hadn't seen the posts that were made. But we agreed on it, apparently, and that's what we played. And at the very beginning, we got up 2-0, only to realize that one piece of the settings hadn't been fixed, so we had to end the game and restart, and we ended up losing the second round, which is a little bit odd that they would force us to end the game, even though that they have leader. But that's how it went. We ended up losing overall 4-1. It was a best of 5, but it was good. We had participation from 8 people, and it was a good warm-up for the beginning of the clan.
Very nice. So, are there any other developments in the Pro Clan, or how many members do you have? Any little info that you can give us?
Well, at the current time, we don't want to make speculations of who is and who is not in the clan.
Well, I mean, currently. Well, I mean, not from the tryouts or anything, but other members that are already in there.
Currently, there are 3 confirmed members. That is just Brent. Wait, no.
Oh, confirmed. Confirmed here, guys. Brent, you're in the clan.
No,
How can you say, are you going to Disney World?
Yes.
Okay. Can I come with you?
Epcot.
Nice, good choice. I love that place. It's, so far the only members are Anorexic leader, GLewis, and myself. But very soon, very very soon, there will be a forum post about who's going to be accepted as a result of the most recent tryouts. And there are several people on that list, so keep your hopes up.
Is Dustin getting in? Can you?
That's classified.
That's confidential.
That's G14 stuff right there, man.
Hey, I'm on G7. I'll get there eventually.
Eventually.
Oh boy. Yeah, and we're going all nostalgia over the old pro clan forums right now. So if we get distracted in this show, that's what we're being distracted over. So we are talking about 2010 games of the year, your guys' picks for what you guys thought were the best. Oops, just cut myself off.
By your guys, we mean you, the listener, John,
Yes,
the listener.
picks.
And we have Andy and Old Regime. We're going to ask you two for your top picks of 2010 first before we get to submissions. So let's go ahead and start with Old Regime. What are your picks for 2010?
All right. Well, I haven't played a ton of new games that came out in 2010. I missed a couple titles that people have been raving about, like Red Dead Redemption and games like Barbie. You know what? Cut that. Forget it. I was trying to. What was that game that Greg was talking about last episode that Giffy Boy plays? Something with like Barbies or something like that.
Barbie Horse Adventures?
Barbie Horse Adventures.
Yes.
That's the one. All right.
Of course.
Let's restart that. So of the games that I have played, my number one, I would have to go with Halo Reach. And no, I'm not being biased. I like Halo Reach because Halo has an outstanding multiplayer with little or no lag that occurs in a well-connected game and very little host migration. And also, you don't find the type of game modding that you see in Call of Duty on a Halo game. It doesn't really happen. Another game that I really enjoyed was Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. I was really glad that Need for Speed decided to go back to its root game type. I was a big fan of Hot Pursuit 2 and Hot Pursuit on the PS2, and then they started making a bunch of games where it was just racing other people. They got away from the whole cop situation. I didn't really think that was so much fun. I like the thrill of being chased by the police and trying to dodge them and stuff. It's good stuff. So I definitely really like that game. They've made it much more modern, really nice cars, very good multiplayer. You can be cops or racers very easily. The only bad part about that game, or not bad part, the only downside is that it did not come with the stunning cockpit view that Need for Speed Shift had, which was something that was just truly amazing.
Stunning.
Indeed, it was stunning. And then I'll just round it out with my top three. That would be Call of Duty Black Ops, but only the zombies aspect. Now, I know some people might not say that's possible since zombies is part of the actual game, but I think that zombies is so much improved over World at War. There's been so many fixes and the new addition of the guns, and then they brought perks and pack-a-punching right back into the very first maps, and there's different strategies on each. And the whole Pentagon, where you can be JFK or McNamara or Castro, that's just very, very, very interesting new concept. I really like that, and it's a great thing to play if you've got a group of 4 people. You're all friends, no one's going to shout at each other for just stealing their window. It's a super fun game. And then if I could say my biggest anticipation for 2011, can I go there?
Yeah, go for it.
As of right now, since there have been way too many announcements, I'm really looking forward to Gears of War 3. Epic has had their struggles in the past, specifically regarding multiplayer, but Gears of War 3 promises to fix most of those things. And there's a couple videos out right now that they've released of the campaign and some multiplayer videos, and they look really good. I'm very excited to play that to finish off the story, even though I kind of thought it was finished at the end of Gears of War 2. But I look forward to completing their campaign and then to a very awesome multiplayer.
Okay. Annie, your turn.
Awesome. So 2010 is all over, and there was a great year for games last year. Obviously, the game I probably played the most was Halo Reach. And that's not really a slight of a bias either, because I recently just bought a Wii, and I'm even looking at buying a PS3 right now. So I'm pretty well rounded. But Reach is pretty solid. Bungie, they really executed a lot of good stuff. There's some aspects of it that, aren't necessarily things I like, but overall they did a fantastic job on the game. Some games that were big hit titles like Red Dead or Mass Effect 2, I really didn't take out the time to play. I'm such of a FPS person that I don't have that much time, so Halo is generally where I feel it. I don't know. A lot of good games came out for PC. My roommates are constantly playing StarCraft, so I'm either falling asleep to Halo or StarCraft, one of the two. And I recently picked up Black Ops, and honestly, I've said this for years. Treyarch has made a horrible name of Call of Duty, and I finally think that they found what's good in a Call of Duty game and really excelled. Is that a word? Anyway, succeeded and excelled in making Call of Duty Black Ops a really fun game online and off. However, looking on to 2011, since I'm going to go there too, I honestly think it's just going to be the year of the threes. I mean, every good game I'm really seeing is a third installment of a series. The game I'm currently most excited for, and why I mentioned buying a PS3 earlier, is Killzone 3. Got a chance to play it at MLG Dallas, where I didn't run into Duststorm, and and I mean, it's absolutely amazing. The game, the spectrum of the war that's going on is just intense. I literally am putting my entire next paycheck towards a PS3 for it. I'm really excited. However, this is not a 3 for Portal 2. But I'm probably going to pick it up on PC. But yeah, Gears of War 3, though it's going to be late, possibly this year, is going to be amazing. Fear 3, Battlefield 3. I mean, my God, 2011 is going to be ridiculous, and I can't wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to Portal 2.
Yeah. It's going to be great.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, like let me just keep going through this list here. I mean, Killzone 3, Gears of War 3, Battlefield 3, Fear 3, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Mass Effect 3, Modern Warfare 3, like
They're
really?
making a Modern Warfare 3?
Yeah.
Infinity Ward?
No, I don't think they are. I think Treyarch is doing Modern Warfare 3, and then Sledgehammer is doing another project for Call of Duty. Yeah.
Strange. So is that okay. Interesting.
Very interesting.
So 2 back-to-back Treyarch Call of Duty titles.
Interesting.
Yep. Bungie's making Modern Warfare 3 as we speak.
They do work correctly.
That's good. That's good.
That is funny. That
Bobby
would be.
Kotick's just standing over him with like a
What would
whip.
happen if
Get it
they?
done!
What would happen if they actually made the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3?
You will finish Modern Warfare 3 or your wives will die. Sage, your boyfriend will die.
Ew.
Oh, jeez.
Nothing wrong
Okay.
with that.
So let's go on to what the community had to say about their top picks for
Huh.
2010.
Yeah. What did they like?
Oh, we have a few submissions here.
Hmm.
Indeed. I guess I'll go ahead and read the first one. The first one is from Daft Link.
Ooh,
He
Daft.
writes, "Hey,
Have fun with that
Podtac, Daft Link," and he was going to be on the show today, but he had to leave. And unfortunately, we're recording right when he's not on Skype. So when you're hearing this, sorry, we'll get you on in one of the next few episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, sorry. He goes on to say he's here to talk about his favorite games of 2010. My number one favorite game would, of course, be Halo Reach.
Dun, 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 dun.
Of course. Having an epic yet melancholy campaign and being the ultimate epitome of Halo multiplayer madness. Though Reach is at the top, I have a couple other favorites. Right now, I'm really enjoying Red Dead Redemption for a huge, beautiful open world tons of well-voiced, acted cutscenes, and many other things such as the gunfight and endless stuff to do like stranger tasks. Also, I recently beat Transformers War for Cybertron, and it was for arguably the best Transformers game ever, although the one based off the Armada animated series that came out for the PS2 a bunch of years back was very good, and is an extremely solid third-person shooter with street vehicle elements. Other game to mention is the RPG Final Fantasy XIII. The game did not disappoint and was a fantastic RPG with quite an amazing soundtrack. Anyway, as I digest Call of Duty multiplayer, the only
he detests.
He detests it.
He sounded like
He's
you said
not digesting
digest. Yeah, he sounded like you said digest.
Stomach fluids are not pouring over Call of Duty's multiplayer right now.
I reworded it and said detest, but I guess it didn't come through. But yeah. He says, anyway, as I detest Call of Duty multiplayer, the only good things I had to say about Call of Duty Black Ops is that Zombies is extremely fun, and I enjoyed the campaign and its interesting storytelling method. Lastly, even though it might not be a standalone game, the World of Warcraft expansion Cataclysm is pretty awesome. It introduced the goblins and wargens as playable races, made the older original areas of the game updated and much cooler, and set a new bar for the creativity and quality of the quests. Those are my highlights for 2010. Keep on fragging Megan Fox for being way overhyped and not even that hot. Obsidian. Okay, thank you.
I like the submission. From reading that, I really want to play Red Dead.
I know, I do too. Yeah.
Red Dead
Redemption. It
was a great game.
I'm still not convinced on buying it.
You might not buy it, but it at the very least you need to rent it and play it through.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but goodness about that game.
I'll read B-Pores.
The only reason that I would suspect you might not like Red Dead Redemption is if you don't like Westerns. Like, if you don't like Westerns, you're not going to like Red Dead.
I'm okay with Westerns.
But if you like Westerns, it's a really good Western. It's the best Western game available right now.
I like the Wild West.
Yeah.
With Will Smith.
Dude, I watched that last night. No joke.
Oh, really?
No joke.
Wow.
Before or after? Oh, you mean when you were eating Chili's?
No, I was after Chili's. I fell asleep like 3/4 of the way through.
What is it? Even though I lost my bottom side of my body, you think I haven't made something that's very hard? And I won't say the rest. We can't say that.
Yeah, Red Dead is more like...
The man.
What?
I don't know.
What'd you say, Brent?
I said it's more like a fistful of dollars than the Wild West with Will Smith or whoever that white guy was. Like,
Selma Hayek.
it's a good Western. It's not a cheesy ass like weird modern day Western. And I like the setting. It's not set in the 1800s. It's set in like the very beginning of the 1900s. I think it's like 1910 or around there, 1918. It's near the beginning of the First World War. So it's kind of showing the West transitioning from being, completely wild into having power lines and the beginning of automobiles driving around, stuff like that.
Oh,
so it's kind of cool to watch that stuff.
Man, you guys
like there's the newspapers that you can pick up, and it shows.
I literally have the game right here from Blockbuster because I do that online thing. That online Blockbuster games thing.
Yeah.
My girlfriend got me that for Christmas. So I have it right here, but I haven't played it yet because I've been playing too much Halo. So should I play this?
Yeah, you should.
Okay.
I guess it might be a good time for me to get a GameFly account.
No, I do the Blockbuster one. It's way better.
Thing is, whenever I go to Blockbuster, they never have games.
No. They mail it to you. You don't go there.
Oh, really?
It's like GameFly, but it's cheaper.
How much is the Blockbuster?
Dora, you pay $15 a month?
GameFly is $8 a month.
No, what? Since when? Hold on.
Last time I checked, it was like $8 or $9 a month.
Yeah, let's see. Service plans. No, right now it says one game out at a time is $16 a month.
Yeah.
Introductory price for the first month is $6.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No.
Because I think we pay $15 for 2. You can check them out in the store or online. You just pick whichever one you want to do. Anywho, I'm going to read B-Pores. This is the top picks for 2010. show for everybody who forgot.
I think we know by now.
It's from B-Porce. He writes, "Hey Podtech, this has been a great year. I don't really have a top 10 of games, as I am dirt poor, but I have a top 3. So he did it 3, 2, 1. So the first one I'm going to read is his third favorite. The last one I'm going to read is his favorite. So number 3 is Minecraft. I feel like a god in this game. It's so awesome. Simple, nice little review like that. Fable 3, years of fun, though it hasn't been out for a year yet, so I don't know.
Yeah.
What he means by years of fun. And then his number 1, drum roll, please. Halo Reach. And he wrote Buff said, but I guess he meant to say Nuff said because the B is next to the N on the keyboard. Anyways, 2010 also had 2 of the biggest highs and lows in my life. The high was RVB Revelation. The low was Halo 2's death. We will all have a moment of silence for Halo 2.
You need to set that up, or at least try to.
Do you want to have a moment of silence really quick for Halo 2?
We do need to set that up. You're right. Yes, we can have a moment of silence.
Just real quick.
Actually, we can have a whole day of silence.
Yeah.
That wouldn't make very entertaining news. All right,
Ladies and gentlemen, we're gathered here today to remember what was once a great game and forever will remain a great game in our hearts, and the 13 people who never turned their Xboxes off and are still in Halo 2 somehow. Please take a moment of silence to remember that.
I didn't know you played the trumpet.
No, that was me. That wasn't the trumpet.
Oh, that was your mouth. Oh.
Did it sound like a trumpet?
No, I was joking.
No, not really.
I was about to say, I don't think my voice is that good.
Oh, it's that good.
Baby.
All right, and that's it from B-Porce. Thanks you for writing in there, buddy.
Yep.
Brent, you want the next one from?
Oh yeah.
Who is it?
Yeah.
It's a long one. Brent always gets the long ones.
Yes.
He likes the flip.
Uzumaki said, "Hey Podtech, Uzi is back with my best games of 2010. His number 1 game is Mass Effect 2. There is seriously nothing bad I can say about this game. It is purely amazing. Though they removed much of the RPG element to the game, it is still awesome with a superb storyline, excellent gameplay, and unforgettable characters. Number 2, Call of Duty Black Ops. Number 2 on my list is one of the best Call of Duty games to date. The campaign was great, multiplayer is still addicting, and of course zombies are still awesome. Between the constant swarm of the undead and the characters' hideous dialogue, zombies have gotten better, and I feel sorry for the people who didn't get the hardened edition of the game." Oh god, I feel like I didn't edit this right. Reading my number 3, Halo Reach. Yes, it's number 3, but that doesn't mean it isn't a great game. The campaign was epic, though not overly difficult. Completed it on Legendary Solo by the day after.
Oh,
the
boy.
customization was excellent, and multiplayer, though I've never been good at it, is still good, though not as addicting as Black Ops. Fable 3, even though Peter Molyneux is still a line jerk, Lionhead Studios gave out a winner this year, though they stripped some of the things I liked about Fable 2, and it is rather short, but between the evil, insulting gnomes, intelligent chickens, and 3 men whom really need to get out of the house more often than Fable 3 is a hilarious game and worthy to be one of my top 5 games. I gotta stop for a second, because I've never had somebody put whom in when it should have just been who. Like that's always the mistake, right? Like nobody puts whom where it's appropriate, but this guy put. I don't get it. Number 5 is Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Though I haven't played multiplayer yet, I can say the single player is great, and the twist at the end keeps you gussing.
There's a twist?
Well, those are my top
I don't
5.
even know
Keep on
that yet.
fragging those poor trucks. The Podtacular Pokemon is out.
I didn't know there was a twist.
It hasn't been released yet. It may have been recorded, but
I didn't know there was a twist to Assassin's Creed.
I didn't know
Well, I
either.
haven't
So
played it yet, so.
yeah, I mean, I haven't. I like in Assassin's Creed. There's a thing about achievements. If you get so far, you can't get the achievements anymore. So if you go past a certain sequence, you can't get the achievements. So I'm getting all the achievements before I get close to that. So just so you know that beforehand.
Okay.
Read the edit above the pic. Oh. Nice one, bro.
It was originally Buff said instead of Nuff said, so I changed it to Buff said.
Because it was wrong anyway.
Wow.
One thing I will not agree with is Mass Effect 2. Nothing bad about it. I think Mass Effect 2. This is just my opinion. This isn't everybody. So, I thought it felt small. I've said this a lot, so this isn't the first time you've heard this. I know. Blah 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 blah. Anyway, I think Mass Effect 1 felt a lot bigger universe-wise, kind of the same way how Brotherhood feels really small compared to like 1 or 2. Mass Effect 1, I didn't get the. 2, I didn't get the epic feeling. It was just too easy all the time. There was always a way to beat it. Though I was, I'd heard things about once you go through the relay that people could die. So I was terrified to do it. But I mean, it wasn't hard when I went through it. It took me maybe an hour and a half to actually go through the relay and do all that stuff. So I don't know if you can say there's nothing bad about it. I just didn't get the epic feeling I felt in Mass Effect 1. And mining was terrible, so you can't say there's nothing bad about this game. Cause
mining was optional, if you think about it. You didn't have to.
Yeah, I guess you didn't
could mine
have
if you wanted to. And I like the music for mining.
Yeah.
I like that. It's like, whenever they go to make a epic free throw, and they have to play it. Like that.
Part of the game was where his name is Morton, the Solarian, right? Wasn't his name Morton?
Yeah.
Morton. When he sang the song, that was hilarious.
Yeah, the Gilbert and Sullivan or whatever.
Yeah.
That was pretty great.
That was funny.
There's a lot of people that put Reach not in their top 2 spots because they Black Ops snipes it and they say it's got a better multiplayer. I think although this might be something for the roundtable, I think it's like in Black Ops you're always striving to get the next thing, the next gun, the next perk, the next pro perk, the next attachment, whatever. But in Halo, everyone starts with the same thing and you just pick up guns throughout the map. So some people see that as like a less entertaining kind of multiplayer, whereas Black Ops you have to kind of.
Well, I think it's
fight
more
for
balanced.
I no. I mean,
not
it
getting
can go either way, but
constantly bashed by people that already have stuff unlocked when I go in there for the first time.
I agree.
To me, it's like the difference between a competitive sport like football and then a competitive sport like motorsports, for example, and then a competitive sport like car racing. Everybody has customized, equipment, but it's all basically generalized. Everybody almost has the same equipment, just minor differences in the way that they're tuned and things. And I think that's kind of the same way with Call of Duty. There's always going to be a loadout that's going to be optimal, and the best players are always going to play with that, but they're always going to tweak it to their own specifications, in a certain way. Kind of like in motorsports, you would tweak your car to have an advantage over the other racers. But in football, obviously everybody uses the same equipment, and it's more like Halo, where you just get out on the field. It's pure skill. It has nothing to do with the way you tweaked your equipment or anything. It's just there's a set system, and you have to stay within that system. You can't choose which weapons you want. But I mean, in a way, they kind of let you do that with the armor loadouts. Yeah, but
I mean, that's just like almost a jersey change, though.
Yeah. I guess that would be the best analogy for that. Well, I mean, that's not really a good analogy for that at all, because well, I get what you're saying. It's more of like, at that point, at the coin toss, do you want to, receive or just, kick off and play? Kind of choose your own adventure type bullshit. I don't know how to explain it. But I don't think that necessarily makes Call of Duty a worse multiplayer game because it's not balanced like Halo. I think it just makes it a different multiplayer game.
Right. I wasn't talking about better or worse. I'm just saying different. I think that some people, or a lot of people, would prefer a Call of Duty game to a Halo game because they find a progressive multiplayer better than a static multiplayer. That's what I'm saying.
Well, most people I encounter with the debate of Halo versus Call of Duty, the main thing they always tell me is Call of Duty is just more realistic. I mean, I can understand that, but at the same time, like, if you're really coming from a competitive standpoint, like, I just don't see it. I mean, I understand it's realistic, yeah, but I mean,
well, there's elements of Call of Duty that aren't realistic.
True, like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, how you could jump from any building and live with a certain perk on,
and the fact that you have a radar.
Yeah.
And a throwing knife.
And the fact that you can
one hit.
control a gunship while you're on the ground.
Yeah. I mean, it is.
Or set off a nuke.
Yeah.
North Korea.
I think that with Call of Duty, they lost a little bit of reverence that they used to have for war. Because back when the original Call of Duties came out, it was bitterly realistic because it wanted to get across kind of the realities of World War II. You know, the first Call of Duty, Call of Duties 1, 2, and 3. I didn't really like 3 that much. I think that was the one was that the Treyarch one?
Yep.
Yeah, 1 and 2 were Infinity Ward, and then 3 was Treyarch.
Sad day.
But 1 and 2 were great. And I think that Infinity Ward had a real reverence for war, and they didn't want to make it gratuitous, as in like, pick your weapon, get out there and whip some ass. You know, here's your M1 Garand, go out there, and this is what they really used, and you're gonna die. I mean, anytime you get a multiplayer, there's obviously gonna be a loss of some reverence for war because you're basically playing pretend war, and some people think that that's offensive or whatever. I don't care. But I'm saying that with the advent of modern warfare, it was kind of a transitionary period because modern warfare kind of retained a little bit of that reverence. It felt like it was grounded more in the real world, real, actual, what it would be like to be in a modern regiment in today's military. You see what I'm saying? Because real things were happening. It was kind of, the beginning of that game was set in, you know, Afghanistan or wherever. It was set in the Middle East. You know, we were still, you know, in the very middle of that war, where war was always on the mind of the American people, you know, in the Middle East. And it had a lot of weight, you know, watching that, wasn't it like a dictator or something? I can't remember who it was, but some like leader out in the Middle East, basically you play as him from his first person perspective, and you get shot in the face. Like that had a lot of meaning. And then I felt like as they continued on with Modern Warfare 2 and then even more so in Black Ops, they kind of lost that, and now they're kind of going off into the realm of fantasy instead of the more realistic type of warfare. Because with Modern Warfare 2, it started going off into more of the Michael Bay, like, stuff's gonna explode, we're gonna have 15 different twists. It's like this American guy that you think's good, he's not really good, he's the most evil one of all, because he's got Shadow Company. And like they don't even explain what Shadow Company is, like he just has this secret like platoon of soldiers that he somehow persuaded to defect from the US military and live out in the Middle East in a cave. Like, it just gets
so you would
weird.
say that Call of Duty started out as a game that wanted to portray the historical grittiness of World War II, and then slowly progressed into more of a game franchise based on warfare, I guess,
Well,
right?
no,
I mean, that makes sense.
It's Activision's cash crop.
Yeah,
They want to pander. That's what I'm saying. They want to pander to their massive audience that they've gained now, and they know that massive audience likes gratuitous warfare. These are the, you know, I'm gonna get high and I'm just gonna sit here and shoot people in the head all day because I'm 15, I don't got a job and I don't go to school. I'm a dropout. You know, it's that crowd. They don't care about reverent warfare told in an interesting and realistic story. They just want to watch heads explode, you know. So I feel like I enjoyed Call of Duty because it had that reverence, and I enjoyed Modern Warfare because it maintained some of that reverence while putting it in a modern setting. But nowadays, Call of Duty is just insane and absurd to me. Like Black Ops, I didn't play the game, but just based off of, I read through the entire story. I read through the synopses and watched some of the cutscenes and stuff, and some of that stuff is just absurd. And I understand that the Black Ops setting, it lends itself to absurdity, but like, I don't think it's too much of a spoiler to say at the end of the game there's this massive.
No. I have not finished it yet. So
okay, I'm gonna put this in a way that will not spoil it. At the end, it's basically just the 4th of July. It's America, yeah, kind of moment, and it's just, like I don't have a problem with. It's just a weird way to end a game. You know, it's a weird way to end a game whose franchise started out having roots in reality and real warfare and telling that story instead of the weird kind of just absurd stuff that they do nowadays.
Like adding guns that do impossible things, like that gun that shoots the wind. I don't know what it's called.
What?
No, that's the giant gun. It looks like a tremendous cylinder, and it just blasts a huge, powerful blast of like air, and it kills your enemies. I don't remember what it's called.
Okay.
Or the underbarrel mounted flamethrower. That's impossible. They don't even have that. That's ridiculous. So I agree with you, Brent.
Because isn't Modern Warfare supposed to be the demise of today's technology?
Oh, it was originally.
Yeah, but we don't have
I think the first
flamethrowers on our guns today.
We have flamethrowers, though.
But not on our guns.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
like I have no problem with the idea of Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 1, but I mean, like Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops have just like stepped it up to where it's exactly like he was saying. It's really died down the idea of like the brutality of war, and there's no story. It's just a cash crop, just like he was saying.
Yeah.
Well, let's save the rest of this discussion for the roundtable.
Yeah.
All right.
We're going to wrap up here with some forum posts that we have actually in the Podtacular forums of some people with their top 10, top 5 lists as well. Do you guys have those open?
Yeah.
I put links in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, relink it if you don't mind.
Will do.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna do Moose's since he covers a bunch of games that are like
Okay,
not.
go for it.
Okay.
Oh wait, we have one more submission real quick, or did we do?
Yeah.
Did we do Slayers?
Regime has said
Oh,
he
yeah.
would like to read it.
Okay. Cool.
I'll just read Slayer Mayors.
Oh, the
real quick.
ones in the form are so nice.
Yeah, a lot better than our submissions, right?
Gee.
Yeah, I'm just going to read the Slayer Mayors. This is the last one. It's really short. He says, my game of the year was Red Dead Redemption. The gritty Western atmosphere was amazing, and I had felt so many emotions running through me throughout the game. It may have been the game of the decade for me. Well, the decade just started, so...
I think you meant the past decade.
Yeah.
Well, 2010 is not the past decade, so...
2000 to 2010.
That's not a decade. That's 11 years.
It is a decade. From
Maybe he
01.
meant 2001 to 2010.
The past 10 years was a decade. I'm not trying to say that it was
the
considered.
0th year indicates a new decade, so...
Yeah, it just so happens that it happened to be a decade for him. Anywho,
Regime, do yours.
Moving on.
he lacks it.
Now we're doing a couple submissions that are in the Podtacular forums. So I'm going to go ahead and read Moose 0030, who gives
this is
his
the first for the show actually reading something from the forums.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So this will be interesting.
So Moose gives his top 10 retail games and then his top 5 Xbox Live Arcade games. So number 10, he puts Crackdown 2, saying that it's just an improvement of Crackdown 1, more of the stuff he loves to do, orb hunting, big explosions, and traversing the city in that open world environment. Number 9, Medal of Honor. He likes it because it has a more serious tone to a shooter that borrows a lot from the Call of Duty franchise. So it's a common first-person shooter, but under Medal of Honor style gameplay. And number 8, Fable 3. Good gameplay with an interesting story and its share of humor. Number 7, Enslaved Odyssey to the West. He says he just started it, but it has a very interesting campaign. Number 6, he puts Kinect, which although isn't an actual game, it will open the realm for motion control for Microsoft, and hopefully they go somewhere cool with that and release like some first-person shooter Kinect style games. That'd be pretty awesome. Yeah, we can hope. Number 5, he puts Halo Reach in. It has a great multiplayer that all Halo fans will love. Number 4, NHL 2011. He says there's nothing like playing with 5 of your best friends in a team online. Number 3, Battlefield Bad Company 2, another first-person shooter with a great story and multiplayer, which he claims to have the best story, soundtrack, and atmosphere in a game that he's ever played. Very interesting choice.
Yeah. I haven't played
Top
it.
5,
I want to.
It seems like Alan Wake is one of those tiny jewels that if you got it and you like the story, it's a fantastic game.
I do agree 100% with his what I missed in 2010.
Me too. We'll get to that in a sec. His 5 Xbox Live Arcade games include Doritos Crash Course, which was a great free game.
Wasn't Crash supposed to be with a K?
Yeah, I think so, but I don't think it matters. I don't think anybody cares. Actually, I think it is C. I think it might be
No, I'm pretty sure it's K.
Is it with a K? I don't think it matters.
recently downloaded it. Yeah.
Well, anyway, it was fun. It's free. No, it has a C. It's C. It should have had a K though. I agree. That seems like a natural extension. Kind of like, generic wacky game needs to have a K
free.
instead of a C. Yeah. But I'll agree that was fun. I enjoyed that the other Doritos free game, the Harm's Way or whatever.
Oh, it was Harm's Way I was thinking of.
Yeah.
But yeah, Crash Course I think is okay. I haven't played Crash Course actually. Harm's Way was interesting.
Yeah.
He also says he enjoyed Risk Factions, which is obviously Risk just on your Xbox, and
No, I heard it.
Counting your stuff, so it's good. What's up, Brent?
I heard it was different than regular Risk. I heard that it had like some deeper systems or something going on.
Maybe since it's a computer counting your things, you don't
I don't
have to
know.
focus. So yeah, it went deeper.
Anyway, I heard that was a really good game. If you like Risk, check that out.
Toy Soldiers. I've heard of this game. I don't really know much about it, but it's a tower defense game with third-person shooting elements. Apparently, does anyone know about that game? Toy Soldiers.
Yeah. I played it. I played the demo at least. It was it's kind of like a tower defense mixed with kind of a. Did you ever play Brutal Legend?
No, but I know about it.
Kind of like that combat RTS system where you're running around the battlefield,
Yeah.
doing stuff, but to a much. It's thematically different, obviously, and you're also flying around like planes and stuff and shooting from turrets. It was all right, but it wasn't fantastic.
Okay.
But I mean, if this guy likes it, yeah, great.
Chucky actually put quite a few videos up of it on YouTube.
He's also got Monday Night Combat in there, which is a great fast-paced shooter for only $15. So that's a good bargain off Xbox Live Arcade. And then his number one arcade game is Comic Jumper, where the guys at Twisted Pixel have done it again. It has hilarious characters and worlds with a few different gameplay mechanics to make it one very enjoyable game. And then Moose goes on to say what he missed in 2010, which I think many, many people missed as well and were sad to see go, and that's 1 versus 100.
That was cool.
Yes,
Yep.
the great
That was
trivia
awesome.
game that we all enjoyed playing, hoping we could get into the mob, but always ending up in the crowd.
Chucky actually got in the mob once.
And
Yeah.
then I think he won like 1 Microsoft point or something.
No, I think it was 0 because it wasn't divided enough yet.
Right.
So, to wrap it up, he says 2010 in review has been a great year for gaming. Plenty of steady releases and great retail games, including Xbox games as well as downloadable content. Can't wait for what 2011 can bring us. Hopefully we can see more innovative ways and games to use Kinect with.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't
hope
think
so,
you're going to
too.
see that. I don't
I'm not
think
holding
Kinect
my breath.
was made for you.
I think you will.
Kinect is not made for us.
It's not.
Kinect
but
is made for, Sarah Soccer Mom and her buddies, coming over so that they can, get it down with. I don't even know the songs in Dance Central. I think there's like a Lady Gaga song in there. It's like
Going
Poker Face.
down, 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 down.
I just assumed that was in there.
I think Cameo's Word Up is in there now. I think. So that might be a fun word. Like the original Word Up, not the somebody else did. I think it was Korn. Korn redid Word Up. So go do that.
Okay.
Dance. Go dance, everybody.
Dance.
Dance Central. I heard it's a really good game for Kinect. It's the only reason to buy a Kinect if you really want one.
Snap.
No, I wish I wasn't joking. I mean, for real.
No, I mean, I completely agree. I'm still surprised Kinect is doing as well as it's doing.
I'm just saying, people love to play games without having to learn those evil buttons. God forbid you learn what 4 buttons.
My
and some
dad's
triggers
willing
do.
to learn the evil buttons.
I've found that people have the most trouble learning how to move in a 3D environment with the sticks.
Yeah, my
They
father,
can't understand how
he ends up running into a wall or not being able to jump, and moving forwards and turning your head at the same time is quite
Yeah.
a challenge to the
Yeah.
elder generations.
I
I
remember.
feel like it's almost as if I'm like a rehabilitative, like physical therapist. It's like I'm trying to teach them how to move. And it's frustrating, man. It makes me feel bad for those guys. I mean, not bad. It makes me feel their pain, their frustration that they must feel, having to help these people get back on their feet and learn how to walk. I was like trying to teach my stepdad how to play Halo once, and it was it's back in the Halo 2 days, and I was trying to get him to run around Blood Gulch, coagulation, and he couldn't do it. He was like running around looking at the ground and stuff,
Yeah.
looking at his feet, and I was just shooting him in the head. I'd be like, look up, look up.
Yeah.
The weird thing is that's how I started out though. Is you start out kind of like that.
As somebody who grew up with games, it was never a big problem for me. It was always a smooth transition. I've always known how to play games.
I don't
See,
know.
what I always used to do is I used to get my dad to just play Blood Gulch with me, and he would just get in Warthog, and I would just get on top of one of the bases and snipe him out. That way he could at least drive around, say he was having fun, and it was a challenge for me. It worked out.
That sounds a little mean, but okay.
Yeah.
If it works out,
it's the same way. I mean, like I put him on Zanzibar once, and he accused me of cheating because he couldn't get his stick off the ground. Pretty much. I mean, he was looking down the whole time.
Oh boy. Okay, Annie, you get the last one. You get the last pick for this
Sweet.
show.
Well, I'm gonna go with Stall Me Please, who wrote a novel.
Le Navel.
It's a very detailed post. Anyways, at number 10 for 2010, he listed Toy Soldiers. He said that the game had probably the most unique style of any game this past year, and that it was a perfect blend of a classic tower defense and real-time strategy game. Not only was it a good, interesting blend of genres, it had an interesting blend of themes. You were on a battlefield and a toy box in a room as a World War I army, and I know it's a little hard to follow, but the end product was a fantastic, gorgeous, and challenging arcade experience. At number 9, he lists the racing game Blur.
Yes.
He says that it's a fantastic game, and its motto was that you race like a big boy. Basically because it was like Mario Kart, only with real licensed cars and intense 20-player multiplayer. And I mean, I've played Mario Kart a lot, but 20 people racing at the same time, that's got to be pretty intense.
Oh, I love Blur. I just wish there were more people on it.
It did some interesting things, like being able to challenge friends to beat your score, or being able to post things on Twitter. By its relatively monotone. It was the same few modes stretched over many levels and just kind of fell flat. But the multiplayer action was really deep, and the leveling system puts it in his top 10 at number 9. Number 8 was Black Ops. And we know it's another Call of Duty game. He says that it's finally something, just like I said, is Treyarch put out a solid product for once. The first time since Call of Duty 4, he says it feels like it actually got a story. It's surprisingly good, and on the multiplayer side, we finally have more of a balance again. And it's overall an extremely great experience. Number 7, he put Monday Night Combat. And yeah, it's another arcade game, but Monday Night Combat seems to be really special as it blends the intense action of Halo or Call of Duty with the mixed art style of Team Fortress and just about everything else from Team Fortress. It's an original arena game and where two teams work to escort robots to destroy the other team's money ball while defending their own. All in all, Monday Night Combat's a great game, especially for only $15. Number 6 on his list is Halo Reach, if we haven't made it clear that Halo Reach was obviously good this year. He's sorry if he offended this entire community by keeping Reach out of his top 5, but it has a killer story, and it's very interesting and incredibly enjoyable to play. It's a lot of fun, whether it's custom games or online, and the new improved Forge world is absolutely great. Multiplayer, as always, is a blast, and he only has some small issues with Reach. And it still at least feels like it's still Halo, which is good because obviously Halo's pretty successful. Mm-hmm. At number 5, he has Battlefield Bad Company 2, and for him, he says it's his multiplayer game of the year. Bad Company offers a fun and deep multiplayer experience that is better than most things he's played this year. It offers a lot of extra content and a huge expansion with the new Vietnam pack that came out for 1,200 Microsoft points. Battlefield, he said, lacks in only one spot, and that's the single player. It was kind of a drag to get through to him, and it felt just like a dent in the armor of the multiplayer. Overall, I've played the game, and I kind of feel the same way. I think that Battlefield Bad Company 1 was a little more humorous. I mean, it just seemed like they took a more serious tone, and I kind of didn't like it. At 4, he lists Dance Central, which, as we just discussed, is pretty much the only reason for buying Kinect.
Hey, your shape is fun.
I actually own a Kinect for myself, and I bought one for my family for Christmas. And I have to agree, Dance Central is pretty fun. I don't own it, but it's definitely probably the best game at the moment, and he seems to agree. Number 3, he lists Mass Effect 2, and it's an absolutely fabulous RPG, and it's truly one of the best stories that he says he's ever played through. Basically, it's right up top with like Game of the Year contender and whatnot for him, but it's not near as good as his number 2 pick, NBA 2K11, which is a shocker because he says, yes, that's right, a sports game. There's not much more that you could say about the game, but it happens to be, to him, the greatest basketball game of all time. So that seems like some pretty prolific shoes to fill. However, I'm going to stick with my arcade and go play some EA NBA Jam because it's good. Anyways, number 1 for him was Alan
Boom
Wake.
shakalaka.
Right. Number 1 for him was Alan Wake, and he says it was just a phenomenal game, and it puts you in the shoes of Alan Wake, who's a writer. You get sucked into the game, and it's just so fantastic. You'll look at every other game and play You'll look at every other game you play differently. Alan Wake is a game with an immersive and interesting story that you'll never forget, and he will treat this game like a movie, as he'll go back and play it every couple months just to experience the story in the world. He is really proud that he has in his collection, and it's by far his favorite game of 2010.
Very thorough.
Yeah.
Very thorough indeed.
I like it.
Here's what I have to say. If Alan Wake is your number 1 game of the year, then you're just going to go bonkers for Shadow of the Colossus HD. Like, I can imagine that if you haven't played Shadow of the Colossus and you think Alan Wake is this good, playing Shadow of the Colossus is just going to make your mind explode. You're going to be crawling up Colossi. You're going to be like, oh my god, this is like Alan Wake, but better, because it's actually good. Like, this is amazing. It's like I have a flashlight, but instead of a flashlight, it's a sword, so it can stab things. You know?
Definitely.
That's Brent's opinion in a nutshell.
And always a good opinion at that.
Yes.
Yeah.
In a good nutshell.
I think the opinion is really just buy Shadow of the Colossus HD. See, I
Brent's
say
the
that.
official spokesperson, so if 10 people buy it, he gets $10. So
Only
Yeah.
10? Dang, that's hard.
I mean,
Yeah.
times are tough.
Sony's falling on hard times.
Forget.
All right.
Okay, I think that about wraps
Read another
up this show.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
Man, that covers it for 2010.
Yeah. It does.
Wow.
It's over.
Great year.
2010's over. Apparently,
It's been over for like 2 weeks.
Alan Wake, Game of the Year.
Well, according to the VGAs, it's Red Dead Redemption.
Game of the year. Yeah. Game of the year.
So,
I shouldn't make fun of Alan Wake because I haven't played it yet. But it just seems like I don't put a lot of weight into review scores, except when I do. So when I see a game when I see a game get like, aggregate 80 or 82, I know it's a pretty good game, but it doesn't seem like Game of the Year material. In a year with amazing games like Mass Effect 2 and Red Dead and even Reach, and maybe if you're gonna like make a real long shot, maybe even Black Ops, but I don't know. If you loved Alan Wake that much, yeah, that could be your Game of the Year. I'm just saying it seems weird to me for some reason.
The one thing I've got from all this is our community plays a lot of Xbox.
I feel like maybe the review scores have lied. Maybe all these people are right. Maybe Alan Wake really is the Game of the Year.
Maybe
And the reviews
are paid.
Yeah, they were paid off by Sony. They Alan Wake's a Microsoft exclusive, so they were like, Sony's like, hey, I'll give you like $15 to say that Alan Wake's shit. No, wait, don't call it shit. Just give it like an 80 so that people like
9.2. Knock that to 8.2. Okay.
Yeah, I bet an 8.2.
People probably do that.
So, good job, Alan
what,
Wake.
buyout ratings?
Developed team. Here's the thing that also bothered me about Alan Wake. They say that a lot of the story continues in the DLC, and if I were ever going to play Alan Wake, I'd have to rent it. I don't think I could buy that game. So I'd rent it, but then I wouldn't want to buy the DLC for a game I didn't own. But what if I really enjoyed the story? So then I'd have to buy the game, then I'd have to buy the DLC, and I would have paid, $8 or $9 to rent it, which would have been pointless. And then I buy the game, and I would have already beaten it, obviously, because I wouldn't know whether or not I'd want to buy the game to buy the rest of the DLC unless the game was good and I'd finished it. See, it's like a catch-22 in my brain. I don't know what to do with Alan Wake.
Find a friend that has it.
So it's best just to forget it. Leave it in 2010 as the game that everybody thought was amazing, except for reviewers. Goodbye, 2010. I'm ready for 2011. I'm surprised I didn't see more Super Meat Boy up here, too. That was a really great DLC game.
I didn't play
Not
it.
DLC, arcade game.
Arcade game.
I feel like in these kinds of shows, people always remember the last 6 months of 2010. Didn't Left 4 Dead 2 come out this year? Pretty sure it did.
Oh, yeah.
But that's a great game as well.
Here's the thing about that. Like, I am so tired of zombies. Like, if I see another zombie, I'm gonna puke. Like, zombies are. I like the idea of zombies. I just don't like the idea of zombies going on for 4 or 5 years. First, it was like, what was it like? I can't even remember. Like, Adventureland, was that the name of it?
No, Zombieland.
No, Adventureland was the different one. Zombieland was the one with Woody Harrelson looking for
I think
Twinkies
Left
or
4
whatever.
Dead, the whole Left 4 Dead series is the beginning of the zombie thing, which is why I like them. But I don't go near games, too many zombie games. Pretty much only Left 4 Dead and then World at War / Black Ops Zombies. Those are my only zombie games. So I understand how you can get into
the whole zombie thing originally, and now I'm starting to regret buying Left 4 Dead.
Like thematically, zombies are interesting for a little while. Sometimes if they're in a good story that knows how to tell kind of a zombie themed narrative, that's great. You know, the John Romeros and people of the world, or George Romero, yeah. But I just get tired of zombie. I want a new thing. Give me something new. You know, I can't even, yeah, give me something. You know, for a while it was Space Marines. Space Marines were the big gaming trend that everybody hated. Then it switched off to zombies. What is going to be the next trend that everybody hates?
Brent Gamer.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm already a trend that everybody hates. What are you talking?
Nah.
I'm not
That's
really
a
a
good
trend
question,
as much
though. I don't
as
know.
I'm like exploding barrels in video games. I'm not really a trend, but everybody hates me. But I'm always going to appear all the time anyway. I'm gonna be around forever. You know, so just get used to me.
Yep.
Maybe motion control games is next.
It's like you think, hey man, exploding barrels are kind of stupid. Who would stand next to an exploding barrel in a firefight? Well, it happens in just about every single first-person shooter that I can think of. Even Halo, fusion coils. Think about it.
Yeah.
It's because they didn't call them exploding barrels. That's what it is.
Right, it's a fusion coil. It's different. As long as you name your exploding barrel and make it look different than just like a 90-gallon barrel with gas in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're okay. You're fine.
Well, I know in Halo 3 the thing that everybody started to hate was just crates.
I'm trying to think of all these games.
Map was just freaking crates.
Crackdown has exploding barrels. Medal of Honor, I think, has exploding barrels. Connect doesn't have any exploding barrels, but that's because Connect sucks.
Oh,
Reach has exploding barrels. Mass Effect 2 has exploding barrels. Monday Night Combat.
Left 4 Dead has exploding barrels.
On the subject of motion controllers, what do you think about the Move?
Yeah.
PlayStation.
For some reason, I have a feeling that is the motion controller for hardcore gamers. I mean, I haven't played with it at all, but
I just get the feeling that gamers don't want motion controlling to begin with because we already have a mastery of the control pad, and that gives us such a great range of motion and activity in our games that we can't get with motion control. Like the only reason
at least with the Move
has extensive value in the industry is because motion control allows people that don't know how to use controllers to play video games.
Yeah, you know what I'm doing right now? I'm moving around a controller. It's a PlayStation Move controller.
There have been few games that utilize motion control in the way that it should be.
I mean,
in a really interesting way.
The PlayStation Move seems different though, because you still have the buttons on there, and I think isn't there like a second thing you can get on there that has the actual joystick?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
So it seems like it seems like the compromise between the actual controller and the Kinect.
Yeah, the thing I like about it the absolute most, because I've just been using it kind of like a remote whenever I'm watching Big Bang Theory and stuff. Been doing that the last couple of days. But like the thing that's the coolest is like on a Wii, if you want to select anything, you have to point it directly at the TV, and sometimes it's like, where's my cursor, and it gets really frustrating. Well, it connects via Bluetooth, so like I'm not even looking at the iToy camera right now. I'm like 10 feet away from my monitor and PS3 system, and like I can still control the screen and access all the menu because it's picking it up via Bluetooth. So I don't even have to point it at the screen. Like I'm actually holding it underneath my desk right now, and it's working perfectly fine. So like, I mean, I understand.
But if you look at it, the Wii did it 2 or 3 years before anyone else did.
Yeah.
So I mean, props to them for doing it.
True.
Yeah, but they just saw a market that hadn't been tapped yet and said, hey, look at all of these, semi-rich, upper middle class soccer moms that have all this money and they don't know what to do with it. But I bet they would like to, play Wii Sports.
Yeah.
Let's sell them a, $200 Wii Sports machine.
Dude, that's actually, I think whenever I was saying my games of the year, at the very beginning, I kind of did leave out Epic Mickey and Donkey Kong Country Returns. Oops.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, Donkey Kong Country Returns is the funnest Wii game I've played in probably a year.
Did you play GoldenEye?
Yes, and it sucks.
All right. I don't know why I find that as funny as I do. I don't know. With motion control, what I want to see more is kind of the way Flower did it. You can't play Flower with a regular controller. The experience would not be the same. For anybody that played Flower, ironically, my favorite motion control game is a game that utilizes the 6-axis, which in theory should be the worst motion control, peripheral of all, because it has very low range of motion. You have to like move this bulky controller around in midair, but it still made Flower fantastic. Moving around in that environment, flipping your controller up and down to move the wind, and kind of progress through this kind of HUD-less environment where it was just environment. You didn't have a HUD, you didn't have numbers telling you how many flowers you had or whatever. It was just this beautiful nature environment where I could just float around and use the motion control to kind of glide around and pick up things. So that was the perfect motion control experience for me. And I haven't seen that in any other game yet. I haven't had the same great experience from Flower in any Wii game, I haven't seen it in any Kinect game, I don't know. I haven't seen it in any Move game, but I haven't played that yet, obviously. I'm just waiting for that to happen.
So you said you've been smoking some grass.
When?
Oh, you said you never had an experience quite like that with Flower. So I was just like, what?
Oh, no, I'm talking about video games. I'm not talking about...
Oh, jeez.
I love the Flower. Flower is my favorite thing in the world. When I'm done talking to you guys, I'm going to mess around with some Flower. Great.
Well, we are over an hour, folks, so we are going to wrap up for this episode.
Yep. Goodbye, everybody. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We
got to do
we're doing the outro, yeah.
The ending line, the outro, yeah.
Send in your tips, tricks, and tales to submissions@podtacular.com for a chance to be featured on the show. We read these regularly throughout our show rotation.
Check out podtacular.com for the latest community news and events. While you're there, check out our forums where you can meet up with other fans and listeners of the show.
We would like to thank everyone who helps out at Podtacular by donation through PayPal, leading clans and events, following us on Facebook and Twitter, and subscribing to our show.
Basically our two guest hosts for today.
Yeah.
And for those who subscribe to the show through RSS, iTunes, or other podcast aggregator, please visit podtacular.com for more information about updating your feed to the latest ones.
Don't forget to complain about us in iTunes reviews.
Hey, we haven't brought up that topic this show yet.
iTunes reviews?
No, the other one.
Oh, about nobody listening to the show?
Never mind.
Oh.
It begins with a P and ends with an Okemon.
Oh, yeah.
No. Let's not go there.
Listen, Pokemon's where it's at. All right, you can all kiss my... Pokemon Black and White is going to be the game of the year.
All I know is my Charizard can take your Squirtle and it can pwn him. That's all I really know.
Yeah, because it's a Charizard and Squirtle's a, first form evolution. Of course it's going to be...
How do you...
Okay, Pokemon's in here. We're officially done. Send in stuff for next week. It's going to be Call of Duty. See you guys.
Yeah, we're ready to do the round table probably next week, and we'll do you guys' submissions next week.
Woohoo!
Awesome.
For Call of Duty.
Black Ops show and one Podtacular update show next week. So,
Listen to the update show. I'll have a submission read. It's good.
okay, see you guys.
Later.